Alright guys, we are back with the second module of practice test number 5, and let's get started. Okay, 20% of 440 is just 440 divided by 5, that's 88. Let me do that a bit better. Yep, okay. Next question. Argon is placed inside a container with a constant volume. The graph shows the estimated pressure Y in pounds per square inch of the argon when its temperature is X kelvins. Okay. What is the estimated pressure of argon in psi when the temperature is 600 kelvins? Alright, so we're just reading the graph here. So when X is 600, what's Y? It's 12. Alright, number 3. The function f is defined by f of x is equal to 4x minus 3. What's the value of f of 10? We'll just plug in x equals 10. So the value is 4 times 10 minus 3, which is 37. B. Which expression is equivalent to 16x cubed y squared plus 14xy? Alright, so let's pull out the greatest common factor of the two terms. So both terms share a factor of xy and 2. So the greatest common factor is 2xy. And when we pull that out, we get 8x squared of y plus 7. And that's answer choice B. Oops. A veterinarian recommends that each day a certain rabbit should eat 25 calories per pound of the rabbit's weight plus an additional 11 calories. Which equation represents the situation where C is the total number of calories the veterinarian recommends the rabbit should eat each day if the rabbit's weight is X pounds? So the rate is 25 calories per pound. So C is equal to 25x and then plus an additional 11 calories. So that's answer choice D. Okay, moving on. If 6n equals 12, what's the value of n plus 4? 6n equals 12, n equals 2, so n plus 4 is equal to 6. All right, d minus 30 times d plus 30 minus 7 equals negative 7. What's the solution to the given equation? Well, let's add 7 to both sides. Then we get d minus 30 times d plus 30 is equal to 0. Right. And that means d can equal 30 or negative 30. So sample solution is 30. Okay. Line R in the xy plane has a slope of 4 and passes through the point 0, 6. Which equation defines line R? Alright, so we have a slope of 4 and our y-intercept is 6. So our equation will be 4x plus 6. And that's D. Okay. A competitive diver dives from a platform into the water. The graph gives the height above the water y in meters of the diver x seconds after diving from the platform. What's the best interpretation of the x-intercept of the graph? Alright, so the diver reaches a maximum height above the water at 1.6 seconds. Now the maximum height is like right here, so it's not A. Right. The x-intercept represents the time when the diver enters the water. So we have B as our answer. Okay, next question. The kinetic energy in joules of an object with mass 9 kilograms traveling at a speed of v meters per second is given by the function k, where k of v is equal to 9/2 v squared. Which of the following is the best interpretation of k of 34 equals 5,202 in this context? Alright, so our object here is traveling at 34 meters per second because that's the input. Right, so here we can immediately rule out B, C, and D. So our correct answer is A. Okay. Number 11, the scatter plot shows the relationship between two variables x and y. A line of best fit for the data is shown. For how many of the 10 data points is the actual y value greater than the y value predicted by the line of best fit? Alright, so basically what the question is asking us is how many data points are on this side of the graph? So we can count. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 data points. That's our answer. Alright, let's make sure we count. Yeah, okay. There's 6 data points right there. Pretty good. And onward to the next question. Number 12. At a movie theater, there are a total of 350 customers. Each customer is located at either theater A, B, or C. If one of these customers is selected at random, the probability of selecting a customer who's located in theater A is 0.48, and the probability of selecting a customer who's located in theater B is 0.24. How many customers are located in theater C? Well, the number of customers in theater C is 350 times the probability of a person being at theater C. Now, the probability of a person being in theater C is equal to 1 minus 0.48 minus 0.24, which is equal to 1 minus 0.72, which is equal to 1 minus 0.28. So the number of people in theater C is 350 times, 0.28. And that's equal to, let's see, 28% of 350 is 98, and that's our answer. Alright, number 13. What is the slope of the graph of y equals 1/3 times 29x plus 10 plus 5x in the xy plane? Well, the slope is just the coefficient of the x term. The coefficient of the x term is 29 over 3 plus 5, which is equal to 29 over 3 plus 15 over 3, which is equal to 44 over 3. Alright. Next question. The length of each edge of a box is 29 inches. Each side of the box is the shape of a square. The box does not have a lid. What is the exterior surface area in square inches of this box without a lid? Okay, so without the lid, there's 5 faces on this box without the lid. If there was a lid, there would be 6 faces in a cube. And each face has an area of 841 square inches, which is 29 squared. So 5 faces would have a total surface area of, 841 times 5, that's 4,205 square inches. Okay, next question. 5 Rocquals imbricata, this type of sea turtle, each have a nest. Okay, the table shows an original data set of the number of eggs that each turtle laid in its nest. A 6th nest with 121 eggs is added to create a new data set. Which of the following correctly compares the means of the 2 data sets? Well, the mean of the original data set will be bigger, right? So let's see. It's not C. The mean of the original data set is greater. Okay, good. Alright, on to the next question. In triangle RST, the measure of angle R is 63 degrees. Well, which of the following could be the measure in degrees of angle S, right? Remember that the sum of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. And so we can't have, so S has to be less than 180 minus 63. So angle S has to be less than 117 degrees. And the only option that satisfies that is A. Alright, number 17. Which expression is equivalent to this expression right here? So we combine like terms. 8x cubed minus x cubed is 7x cubed. 8 minus negative 2 is plus 10. So 7x cubed plus 10. Okay, that's B. If 4 times the square root of 2x is equal to 16, what's the value of 6x? Alright, so if we divide both sides of the equation by 4, we get square root of 2x is equal to 4. Square both sides, you get 2x is equal to 16. And if you multiply both sides by 3, you get 6x is equal to 48. And that's our answer, okay? Number 19, 2x minus y is greater than 883. For which of the following tables are all the values of x and the corresponding values of y solutions to the given inequality? Okay. So let's try, let's plug in the values in table A here. If we plug in x equals 440, y equals 0, we get 880 is greater than 883, which is not true, so this is not possible. Again, same thing here. If we plug in the first value, 440, comma 0, we get 880 is greater than 883, which is not true, so it's not A or B. Right, so let's check table C. If we plug in x equals 442 and y equals 0, we get 884 is greater than 883, which is 2. What if we plug in the next value? We get 882 is greater than 883, which does not work, so D is the only possible answer choice, right? And if you plug them in, all of them work. So let's move on. Okay, number 20, 5y equals 10x plus 11. Negative 5y equals 5x minus 21. The solution to the given system of equations is x comma y. What's the value of 30x? Okay, so we can add the two equations together, and their sum will be 0 equals 5x minus 10. All right. So 10 is equal to 5x. So 30x will be equal to 60. And that's our answer. Let's try plugging this in. Well, x equals 2, right? X equals 2 from this. So if we plug in 2 here, hold up. We messed up, guys. We messed up. Rare error. Alright, so I actually caught a mistake here. When you add the two equations, it's 0 is equal to 15x minus 10. So 15x is equal to 10. So 30x is equal to 30. Well, 20. So 30x is equal to 20. Now let's try plugging in x equals 2/3. If we plug in x equals 2/3, on the top we get 20 over 3 plus 33 over 3, which is 53 over 3. And here, when we plug it in the bottom, we get 10 over 3 minus 63 over 3, which is negative 53 over 3. The two results are the negatives of each other, so we know it works. Okay. Next question. Number 21. A rectangle is inscribed in a circle such that each vertex of the rectangle lies on the circumference of the circle. The diagonal of the rectangle is twice the length of the shortest side of the rectangle. The area of the rectangle is 1089 square root of 3 units. What is the length in units of the diameter of the circle? Okay, so let's see. Do we have a bit more space at the bottom? Yeah, I want to draw the circle here because we have more space. All right, so we have the circle and we have a rectangle inscribed in it. So like that. Something like that, yeah? Let me get rid, hold on. Let me get rid of that line right there. Yeah, okay. And then we're given that the diagonal of the rectangle is twice the length of the shortest side. Right. So we're given this diagonal right here. We'll call this 2x. This is twice the shortest side, which is x. And by the Pythagorean theorem, then this side will be x root 3. Right? And we know that the area of the rectangle is 1089 root 3 square units. Okay? So x times x root 3 is equal to 1089 root 3. If we divide both sides by root 3, we get x squared is equal to 1089. And in this case, the square root of 1089 is 33. So we know x is 33. So this is 33. This long diagonal is 66, and this side is 33 root 3. And we're asked, what's the length in units of the diameter of the circle? Well, the diameter of the circle is just equal to the length of the diagonal of the rectangle. Because the diameter is the segment, or rather the hypotenuse of this right triangle here. The diagonal is the hypotenuse of this triangle right over here, which is a right triangle, and by the inscribed angle theorem, that means the arc cut off by the diagonal is 180 degrees, making the diagonal a diameter. So its length is 66 units. Okay? Next question. Rectangles ABCD and EFGH are similar. The length of each side of EFGH is 6 times the length of the corresponding side of ABCD. The area of ABCD is 54 square units. What's the area in square units of EFGH? Right. Okay. So pretend rectangle ABCD has length L and width W. Then rectangle EFGH has length 6L and 6W. Now the area of rectangle ABCD will be LW, but the area of rectangle EFGH will be 36 LW, which is 36 times the area of ABCD. We're given that the area of ABCD is 54, so the area of rectangle EFGH will be 36 times 54, which is 1944, and that's choice D, okay? And we move on. Which expression is equivalent to 42a over k plus 42ak, where k is greater than 0? Okay, so we're going to put everything under k, because that's what all the answer choices have. Right, so the first fraction is just 42a, that carries over. But for the second fraction, we divided by k, so we have to multiply by k as well. So 42ak times k is 42ak, not 4ak, 42ak squared. Right, and we can pull out a factor of 42a in the numerator, and we get 1 plus k squared in the inside, and that's all over k. And that's equal to choice D. Okay? which quadratic has no real solutions? Okay, so this factors, A factors as x, let's see. All right, so we have to look at the discriminant in order to determine if it has real solutions or not. So the discriminant of A is 14 squared, so B squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 49. This is positive, so it has real solutions, so it's not A. All right? Now B factors as x minus 7 whole squared, so it has real solutions, so it's not B. Right? And now here we do the discriminant check. So let's plug in, let's do B squared minus 4AC and see what happens. So negative 14 squared minus 4 times 5 times negative 49. Here, let me make some space. Here. Let's do the discriminant check for answer choice C. So the discriminant, B squared minus 4AC, is equal to negative 14 squared minus 4 times 5 times negative 49. Now this is positive, so it'll have real solutions, so it's not C. So our answer choice is D. Let's check it and make sure that it has a discriminant less than 0. Alright, so we do the B squared minus 4AC, we check its sign. Okay? Negative 14 squared minus 5 times 4 times 49. Well, this will be negative. So it has no real solutions, and answer choice D is our answer. Okay, number 25. P of t is equal to 260 times 1.04 to the 6/4 t power. The function P models the population in thousands of a certain city t years after 2003. According to the model, the population is predicted to increase by 4% every n months. What's the value of n? Okay, so t is modeled in years right now. And we want the exponent here to be 1 because it's increasing by 4%, and that's the margin of growth within the b value. So 6/4 t is equal to 1. So t is equal to 4 over 6 years, which is equal to 8 months. And that's our answer. Okay? Number 26. A circle in the xy plane has its center at negative 1, 1. Line T is tangent to the circle at the point 5, negative 4. Which of the following points also lies on line T? Okay. So let's model this situation. We have our, actually there's more space on the right side. We have our circle. Okay, this is our center. Negative 1, 1. And this is our point right here, 5, negative 4. Right. Let's connect the 2 points, right? And then we have a tangent line going through the same point. Yeah, we have this line, right? 5, negative 4 is on the circle, right? You can connect the center to 5, negative 4, and it'll be a radii. But there's a tangent line intersecting the circle at 5, negative 4. And the interesting thing is, these two lines are perpendicular, geometric properties. So we can find the slope of the line connecting negative 1, 1 and 5, negative 4, and then use that to find the equation for the tangent line. So the slope of the line connecting the center to the tangency point is, okay, so slope is change in y over change in x, right? So from negative 1, 1 to 5 comma 4, y has changed 3 units. Or sorry, it has gone down by 5 units. But x has increased by 6 units. So the slope of that radii is negative 5 over 6, which means the slope of the tangent line is negative 6 over 5, because perpendicular lines have negative reciprocal slopes. So our equation for the tangent line will look something like y equals negative 6 over 5x plus b. Now all we have to do is plug in the point, and we'll get plug in the point 5 comma negative 4, and we'll get our b value. If we plug in x equals 5, we'll get negative 6 plus b is equal to negative 4. And that way we know b is equal to 2. So our equation for the tangent line is y equals negative 6 over 5x plus 2. Now, we have to find a point that lies on line t. This is the equation of line t. Now we just have to find it. Wait, hold up. Sorry guys, made another error. The slope here is wrong. Hold on. The slope is supposed to be positive. The slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. The slope of the radii and the tangent line. So the slope is supposed to be 6 over 5x. When we plug in x equals pi, we get b is negative 10. So that's the equation. Okay. Now, sorry for the mistake, guys. Now we have to find which of the points lies on line t. Well, the line doesn't have an x-intercept at 0,6. B also doesn't lie on line t, and neither does D. So C looks like our only answer choice left. Let's check. 6 over 5 times 10 is equal to 12. 12 minus 10 is equal to 2. So indeed, our answer is C. Okay. Ooh, this is a lot of words. For an electric field passing through a flat surface perpendicular to it, the electric flux of the electric field through the surface is the product of the electric field strength and the area of the area of the surface. Okay. Wow, that's some jargon right there. Okay. So the electric flux of the electric field through the surface. We're going to call this variable F. F for flux. So F is equal to the strength times the area. So strength times the area. A certain flat surface consists of two adjacent squares, where the side length in meters of the larger square is 3 times the side length in meters of the smaller square. An electric field with strength 29 volts per meter passes uniformly through the surface, which is perpendicular to the electric field. Okay, the total electric flux is 4,060 volts times meters. What's the electric flux in volts times meters of the electric field through the larger square? Okay. So our flux is 4,640, right? And our strength is 29 volts per meter. And our area, let's write an expression for the area. So our area of the flat surface consists of two adjacent squares, right? We have the small square and the bigger square. The larger square has a side length 3 times bigger than the smaller square. So combining the areas, the two squares, we get x squared plus 3x all squared, which is x squared plus 9x squared, which is 10x squared. So that's the combined area of the flat surface, where x is the side length of the smaller square. And let me erase this diagram right here. We're going to need all the space we can get for this one. Okay, now it's time to divide 4,640 divided by 29. The volts we can ignore because that's just a unit. Let's keep everything in numbers for now. So 4,640 divided by 29 is 4,640 divided by 29. Let's see, 129, 17, 174. That's 6, I think. Yeah, 120 plus 54 is 174. Okay, good. 174, 0. You have an extra 0 left, so it's 160. So we get 160 is equal to 10x squared. Well, x squared is equal to 16, and the side length of the smaller squared is 4. So we have a square of side length 4 meters, and then another one of side length 12 meters. All right. So now what we need to find is, let's see, we need to find what's the electric flux in volts times meters, okay, of the electric field through the larger square. Well, we know the strength. The strength is uniform. Our flux, remember, flux is equal to strength times area. So our flux is equal to 29 times the area, which is 144, right? So what's 29 times 144? Our flux is equal to 4,176. And that's our final answer. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something from this walkthrough. If you enjoyed it and you know that others will learn from this as well, please don't forget to share it to them, and I'll see you in the next video.